What's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley and I am a six-figure reseller primarily on Poshmark and eBay. Today I'm going to be going over what you need to know before you start online sourcing. I've been online sourcing for about a year now and I have learned a lot along the way, so hopefully I can share some of those tips with you so you can go ahead and get started with that. Online sourcing is very beneficial if you're located in an area that doesn't have great access to specific inventory that you're looking for, or if you're just looking to raise your average sale price. There's a lot more items online than in person unless you're in like a really huge fashion city or whatnot. So if you've never online sourced before, you'll find this video very beneficial before you get started. And if you have online sourced before, you may have noticed some of these things and some of these other things you may be learning along the way. The first thing to know before you start online sourcing is that it is highly competitive. You're not just competing with people locally in your area for inventory, you are competing with everyone across America or even globally, depending on what site you are sourcing from. So you have to be really quick, you have to know your stuff in order to make sure that you get the best finds. Because it is so competitive, it is more beneficial to go for items that not as many people know about versus the items that everybody wants. You're going to be competing against people that want the item for their personal usage and also other resellers. So there's a vast amount of people that want the same items that you do. For example, off the top of my head, some of the main items I feel like that everyone is grabbing is like Spell and the Gypsy and Johnny Was. So many people buy that stuff online and it can be really hard to grab that stuff. So you either have to be really quick with it or be willing to pay a lot more, because a lot of these people, if they're buying for their personal closet, they're going to be willing to pay more because they would be willing to pay the price that you were trying to resell it for. So they're going to be willing to pay a lot more for those specific items. If there's a lot of buyers searching for that stuff online to get a good deal, they are going to probably beat you to that or have a greater selection of what they're able to purchase at a specific price point. Because online sourcing can be really competitive, it can bring on a lot of anxiety, kind of like shopping at the bins where there is so much competition. So just try to remain cool, take it slow. If you get really anxious by some of those really high pressure situations, try to just go for the things that less people know about. If you can think outside the box, then you are going to do better than where everyone is going for. Some people just like to take the easy route and go for the things that they know are going to sell, that they know are good for the good price. So that is the second thing that you need to know beforehand. If you can think outside the box compared to where everyone else is at, you're going to be a lot more successful. So if you can know brands that not many people know about, less people are going to go for those items. If you're willing to pay more for specific items, less people are going to go ahead and go for those items because they may not be comfortable with that. So basically, because it's so competitive, the more you can separate yourself from those other people, you may have less competition in different aspects of online sourcing versus being in the same box as everybody else. And with online sourcing, there is so many different ways to do online sourcing, and there may be specific areas that you find that if you're looking for a certain item, a lot of people are on a certain platform. So if you can find something different that not many people know about, you're going to have less competition there. The third thing that is really, really important to know before online sourcing is that you may not get your item that you expected to buy. And what I mean by that is that if you bought something online, it may say that it's authentic, it may say it's in great condition, but it doesn't mean it's going to arrive to you that same way. So that's why it's so important that you don't let your items just sit in a box and you don't open it for weeks to come, because most of the places that you can be online sourcing from have a small or a specific window for cases or returns. So if you do need to make a case or return for an item, you're going to want to make sure that you don't get past that window, because you're going to be paying more for specific items. That can be a lot of money tied up on you if your item is flawed and you can't sell it for as much, or if it is inauthentic and you cannot sell it at all. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you're on top of the items that you source and you make sure to go through them, and if you need to return them, that you go ahead and you do that. And with that said, overall, you are going to be paying more for items when online sourcing. It's kind of given for that, but something just to make sure that you note, it's really easy to spend a lot of money online sourcing. So if you haven't had a budget before, you may need a budget now, or you just need to be a lot more cognizant of how much you're spending. It can be super easy to spend thousands of dollars on online sourcing. So if you don't have the money for that, make sure that you are tracking what you're buying and tracking a budget and creating that for yourself so that you don't go overboard. If you are just starting off with online sourcing, if you don't have as much of a budget to work with, it is beneficial to integrate thrifting into your online sourcing so that you're not going overboard on budget. As you continue to gain a bigger budget, you'll be able to do a lot more online sourcing and then maybe eventually make it up a majority of your current sourcing strategy. So with anything in life, when you're getting into something that you're not comfortable with, if it's outside your box that you're usually used to working in, it's going to feel weird. You're gonna feel like you suck at it. You may not feel like you're very successful, but that's why it's so important just to keep working at it over time. And the more consistent you can be with it, the more success that you will see. So just remember that it's going to feel that way in the beginning, but once you continue to do it, you'll feel a lot more comfortable with it, and soon it'll just be like a normal part of your practice. So that is it for this video. Also, I'm going to be sharing the List Perfectly giveaway winner from 2 videos ago, and the winner is Hope Manuel. So congratulations, you have won 1 month free of List Perfectly. I'll go ahead and let them know that you are the winner and get in contact with you to get that all set up. And I am very excited. Next week, I'm going to have a special surprise video, fingers crossed that everything still goes as planned. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. I do put out videos every Wednesday, so be sure to keep an eye out for those, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And you can give me a follow on Instagram at ReCloth Collection. I put out a lot of tips on there as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.